Hey everybody, Sean here from Somm Wine Club, and I have got Somm wine for you. This is the 2020 Chapel Hill MV Bushvine Grenache, part of the December 2022 Somm Wine Club box, as well as our History and Tradition holiday pack for this season. Now, Chapel Hill has a storied history themselves. The site of the winery is the old Seaview Chapel in McLaren Vale, which was built in 1865 and decommissioned in 1965. So this ironstone stone chapel that was built on a hilltop makes up the modern tasting room of the winery. And I've actually been to the winery, and it's a beautiful place to visit. They have stunning views of the valley, and the old building is just classically beautiful. Now, the winery started in 1972 with the first vines being planted. Their first vintage was 1975, and they've been continually producing wine since then. I visited in 2013 when I was living in Adelaide, and I have my own little story and connection to the place. So it was the Thursday before the Easter long weekend, and we showed up to the tasting room at, I don't know, probably 3:30 in the afternoon, 4 o'clock. They're going to be closed for the next 4 days for the holiday weekend, and the staff in the tasting room are there. They're just hanging out and chatting. We roll in, and they're like, oh, we didn't really expect to see anybody else for today because it's going to be a long weekend. So they took us through a tasting, and then because they were going to be closed for the next 3 days, they couldn't keep all the wine that they had open. So they just gave us a box of open bottles of wine that we then took back to the hostel that we were staying in, and it had a roaring good party with everybody that was staying there. So they endeared themselves to me quite quickly with that interaction alone. And that's not even counting the fact that the wines are excellent. And so I'm really excited to share this wine with everybody. The Bushvine Grenache is coming from the Muntzberg vineyard, which is just southeast of the winery, which was planted in 1952. These are all like very old shrub, low Bushvine Grenache, small berries, great concentration. Everything's done hand harvested, and then the wine's aged in a mixture of large oak puncheons and tank. So you get a little bit of texture from the oak, but mostly neutral or older oak, and then the tank keeping it fresh and bright. So let's see. This wine has this aroma like you've just taken a handful of fresh raspberries and just mashed them. They've like this macerated red fruit character, strawberry and raspberry, like not jammy, not overly sweet or confected, but juicy and fresh, but mashed up. So like you're spreading them on toast or something. There's a savory kind of irony quality to the wine. It's got a little bit of like forest floor, dirt, potting soil, this kind of turned earth character. You don't get any of the real like influence of oak. This wine is not about baking spices or toasty vanilla or anything like that. It's just really pretty and elegant with that ripe, juicy red fruit. There's some kind of wildflower character. There's a little bit of kind of exotic spice, almost like anise or like, now I'm going to lose my words because this wine just smells so good. Let's try the taste. Super elegant again on the palate, silky. The tannins are present, and you can feel that this is maybe not Pinot Noir light, but has a delicacy to it where the tannins, the fruit, the alcohol, the acidity and freshness, everything is really well balanced, and it carries itself in such a way that it treads this really beautiful fine line between ripeness and being too delicate or soft. This is the kind of wine that you can just pop open and pour. You don't need to decant it. It doesn't need to be cellared. It's delicious right now. This wine can age for a couple of years, but the style of Grenache with that kind of boisterous, easy drinking, refreshing fruit character is, in my opinion, definitely enjoyed best when it is youthful and energetic. And this is a 2020 vintage, so you're not looking at an older wine at this point anyway. So right in this great drinking window right now. Food wise, there's so many things that you can do with this because it does have, like I said, the elegance and the freshness of something kind of closer to a modern or New World style Pinot Noir. It does have a little bit more alcohol, a little bit more weight. I think the alcohol is probably 14. It's 14.5, which for Grenache in South Australia is not unreasonable. But like I said, because the fruit can handle that intensity, it's all really well integrated. You could do just a great handmade smash burger or hamburger with this. You can do like a beautiful chili or stew. You can do roasted root vegetables at this time of year. Anything that you kind of caramelize, you get the squash character. Brings out the natural sweetness in like butternut squash or kabocha or curry squash, where you have a little bit of that almost curry spice to it. Is an awesome choice to do with Grenache. Or just sit in front of the fireplace and open the bottle and have a glass and have great conversation, play a board game, invite some friends over. This is the kind of wine that's meant to be shared with people and enjoyed, no matter what you're doing. I'm enjoying this. I'm happy to be able to share it with everybody. Thank you all so much for joining me this year as part of Somm Wine Club. I hope you enjoy the Chapel Hill Bushvine Grenache, and we will see you all next time.